All right, here we go. Game 1, Naniwa versus Icy. Let's do it right now. Let's get into it. I know you guys want to see it, so we're into it right now. Boom. Oh, Rude Axeltoss has left the game. Rude Axeltoss, why are you leaving the game, bro? How are you still in the this replay? My StarCraft 2 crashed in game 1. So that's what happened there. I didn't mean to leave. My StarCraft 2 literally crashed. But here we are in game 1. I was gifted the replay by one of these two gentlemen. And here we are in game 1. Bottom right hand location, I present to you the blue Protoss player Naniwa, Team Alliance. Probably one of the favorites to win this tournament. Came very close at the last dream hack. His opponent in the top left is your yellow Zerg player, Icy. Now again, group situation is if Icy wins, that's when crazy stuff starts to happen. Of course we know who wins the series, so I don't even know how much I want to talk about that. But I just want to see what happens here. So Belshir Vestige. A lot of people like this map. It's kind of universally never vetoed. I feel like Belshir Vestige is like the Cloud Kingdom so far, a part of the Swarm, in that a lot of people are okay with it, right? A lot of people like playing it, and I like it. It's pretty cool. There's 5 bases per player. Like if you imagine the line in the middle of it, right? Let's see, the line is right here. It's kind of a split map. You got 5 bases in the south, 5 bases in the north. Now, the first 3 bases are relatively easy to hold and control because the third base it's not like it's towards your opponent. However, when you're taking the 4th base, it's getting towards your opponent. But the 4th base is away from your opponent's 3rd and 4th base. So, you know, it's realistic to keep extending in that direction. And then it becomes tricky as far as the 5th base is concerned. You're going to be right next to your opponent. So, a lot of play is based off of 4 bases here and whether or not a player can get a 4th. So, we'll have to see what happens here. Gateway opening here from Naniwa. I like how he walls off. I actually really like that. Probe gonna be poking at some drones, at the drone. You know, a lot of people haven't been doing that recently in you know, PvX or PvZ because they just wall off at their natural. But what happens is, and this happened earlier on with me at least in the ladder, I would place my 2nd pylon out here, and normally it would be a little bit vulnerable. You would be a little bit vulnerable because, you know, if they make early lings, they can just run by, and then it gets a little bit dangerous. So walling off here makes it so much easier dealing with the early lings, and potentially holding that off. Just put a Zell there and you're fine. And like, if your opponent decides to make lings, it's not like, okay, they're committing a lot, because sure, they might take out this pylon, but if they make those early lings, they're not going to be able to get into the main. Whereas before, if you're not walling off, the lings would be able to get into the main if they made those lings. So the Zerg has to make more of a decision as far as, okay, you know, if I try to kill this pylon, I won't get in the main, and then I'm investing a lot, and my opponent has plenty of probes back home. So I don't know, just something interesting to think about. Also, having this pylon here is pretty important because, again, you can start walling off faster, right? You can make your gateways here. Probably going to see that soon. Again, we saw in game 2, Naniwa went for 2 additional gateways here and here. So, you know, he might do it again. In fact, I would think that would be very likely. Waiting on this pylon to finish. Is he going to make something out of this gateway? Generally a Stalker or a Sentry, but he's going to skip for now, instead making very fast additional gateways. He might make 3 gateways here. He has enough to make 3. Yeah, he's going to make 3. So he's going to go up to 4 gateways total. Now, this can be very important because we saw in game 2, he got that probe out on the map. And that's going to be one of the most important parts of going for this type of style. If you can't get your probe across the map, you can't make a proxy pylon. If you don't have a proxy pylon, you can't warp in units across the map. If you can't warp in units across the map, you just made 4 gateways for nothing. And you're not going to be able to be aggressive towards your opponent, and your opponent can just freely drone up. And that's no fun, because when you're investing into these gateways, first of all, you're investing Chrono Boost in the warp gate, so you're not going to be able to make, you're not going to have the probe count you would ideally want if you're going for just a strictly expansion build. And you're delaying tech, you're delaying other things. It's a lot of investment into these initial 4 gateways. So if you want to make these 4 gateways, you got to get a pylon across the map. So we're seeing one here in between the natural and 3rd base. That's pretty much as close as a pylon can get. Now, it's going to be up to Icy to scout that this pylon is here. Now, he's staying on 2 bases, interestingly enough. I haven't been looking at what he's been doing. Got an early gas. It's pretty standard, especially when you're... Oh, wow. He's got a Roachborn. So he's going for a pretty committed attack here. He has 124 gas standard, and he already has speed. That means his gas income has been ridiculous throughout this game. 5 Zells underway, but Roaches are up. This is like an anti-timing here for Naniwa. This is very dangerous indeed. He needs to keep this Mothership Core alive. I would love to see Icy target down that Mothership Core, dodge away from the Zealots. That's what I would love to see once the Roaches get out. But Naniwa sees the Roach Horn, so he should have an idea of what's going on. He should have a backup plan. More Zealots being warped in, the pylon being targeted down. I love that decision here from Icy. No reason not to do that. Roach is trying to kite away a lot of Zealots here in the natural expanse. Some drones being pulled. Great time warps here, but that means Naniwa cannot recall out. So if Icy can deal with this cost efficiently, he's going to be very happy. Let's see what happens. 2 Roaches in the way. Spinecrawler on the way as well. Roach is trying to kite back away from these Zealots. Icy doing a decent job. Income isn't that important right now. What's important is killing these units and going for the counterattack. Which 362, actually that's all the gas for Naniwa right now. Icy, 2 more Roaches, 6 more Links, speed is done. Dealt with all the Zealots, didn't lose that much, didn't lose this expansion. He's been staying on 2 bases. And we'll have to see how Naniwa reacts. 2 Forges just now in production. Roach is going to target on this pylon. I think the Queens might have been, no, the Queens are both still alive. So there's no energy for Photon Overcharge, and there's no cannons on the map. So I'm wondering if right now he decided to go, if any damage could be done. 3 sentries back home and a Zealot holding the front. I don't know if it's possible. Let's see what happens though. We got some of these Roaches crossing, and I love that there's a backup plan here. There's a backup plan here for Icy. He's got a layer underway. He's got that 3rd hatchery underway as well. Focusing on the drone production and 2 Evo chambers, taking all of his gases. So he has a late game plan. Not like it. He has a mid game plan. He has a plan beyond this initial aggression. Just trying to scare Naniwa. We have two cannons in production now. Naniwa needs to be able to identify exactly what's going on. It'd be great if you can see the layer. Oh, he saw the layer, so he knows there's a layer underway. He knows there's more gas being added on. So I don't agree with these 2 cannons. If you know that much is happening, you know, okay, my opponent isn't throwing that much at me. My opponent has a next step. He's not all in. Only 1 cannon is needed here. But Naniwa playing super safe, which I'm fine with. I'm fine with Naniwa playing super safe. But only needs 1 cannon there, really. Still investing into his mid-game, right? Has both of his gases at his naturals, got his 1-1 on the way. Robotics facility about halfway complete as well. Gonna make that observer right away, I would imagine. Interesting not going for a Stargate. Though, based on how the beginning of this game went and what he scouted, that it kind of makes sense. You know, seeing all the investment your opponent made into Roaches, into Lings early on. Kind of afford to delay Stargate play a little bit, as long as you stand up your scouting. Great time warp there from Nano. Gonna get the force field. Oh, Roaches, you cannot leave. What a great pick off there from Naniwa. Taking out those Roaches. Oh, losing the sentry though. Units lost 1625 to 1300 in favor of Naniwa. And there's the Spires. So this is interesting. So because Naniwa didn't open with the Stargate, he opened with the Robo. And I'm really surprised by this because he scouted how fast that layer is being made. And he scouted the speed of the gases. So he has to identify exactly what his opponent is making as far as Lings are concerned. I would love to see, obviously, a hallucinated Phoenix go across the map right about now. Observer on the way. Militia Corps is going to see a lot of Speedlings. That's going to be the first clue. Because if your opponent is making Speedlings and you saw the layer, you saw all the gases in the main and the natural, you can kind of be like, alright, he's teching fast. Probably 2 mutas. Now, the Robo hasn't been seen. No, it hasn't been seen yet. But some Zergs will go straight to mutas whenever they scout a Robo, because that means that there's probably not a Stargate out, or at the very least, the Stargate plays in hyper speed, hyper activate. Now, Observer's coming forward. Let's see how Naniwa reacts here. I'm gonna look at his vision. So he's looking at Observer. He clicks on the Spire. How's he gonna react? We cancel. We see a cancel. I'm not sure we canceled there. Double force. Blink is on the way. So he's going to rely on Stalkers and Blink here. Now, what he could have done is added on 2 Stargates right then, but seeing how far along the Spire was done, he probably realized that wasn't an option. So we can see him. We're still in Naniwa's vision. Blink halfway done. Going to focus on Chrono Boosting yet. Chrono Boosting the 1-1 as well. Or is that 2-2? Yeah, that's 2-2. So he's going to be focusing on Stalkers to defend. Now, this is going to be pretty tricky. Belch aggressive actually hold that thought. Zealots coming, or Zerg, excuse me, coming into the surface. Look at this. Naniwa is just attacking across the map. He realizes he might have a timing here. And now Icy is going to have to make a decision. 4 Spinecrawlers back home. Does he send his mutas to attack the economy of his opponent? Or does he defend this attack with all of his units? That's the decision he has to make. It looks like he's going to forfeit this to base. Queen not getting the memo. And Naniwa can just recall back here. So it's a nice move. Is it recall or does he poke more? It's a little bit dangerous to poke more, because if the mutas target fire your Militia Corps, you're playing with danger. You're playing with danger, and the mutas are getting ready to do that. Mutas coming in. Can they get the Militia Corps? Is that what they're going to target? Yes. He was targeting Militia Corps, but Naniwa, great reaction time, recalling out of there. The 3rd was protected, so Okay, Icy didn't die. That's good news for him. Also good news is that he's still got plenty of drones, 2-2 underway, and he's got mutas in the air. When you have mutas in the air, and you keep making them, and your opponent doesn't have Storm, your opponent doesn't have Stargates, only Blink Stalkers, you can really try to spread them out, especially when you have a heavy Zerglin composition. Stalkers blinking back, great blink, taking down one muta. Link's trying to charge through the natural expansion. Icy trying to take advantage of his unit comp, the extreme mobility, but Naniwa making so many units on the field, making more and more Stalkers looking good. Now, I'm wondering, does Naniwa stick to the Blink Stalkers, or does he try to transition? Because he has a Twilight Council. It's not too far of a reach for High Templar. And he does have a High Templar Archives on the way. So we'll keep an eye on that. Now, High Templar aren't an automatic against mutas. Not by any means. But look at the damage he's getting done. Doing a lot of damage to the mutas that come in. Every muta is so important when you're going for this muta style. So what Icy does have right now is map control. Naniwa right now has been sticking at home, worried about the mutas, but since he's killed 2 mutas, he's like, okay, you don't have a lot of mutas. He might start feeling confident to start moving across the map. Now he's going to scout this third base with the Sustained Phoenix, and I imagine he's going to head straight for that. Ling's getting caught off guard here. Now, this is a really good timing because Icy is trying to tech switch into Infestors, and he's just going to have to ban the space. Really good timing there from Naniwa. Now, there's still 1,000 gas banked up, so it's not like Icy has been continuing into the muta production. He's going into Infestors now. He can start making them as we speak. He's not supply blocked. I don't know why he's not making them. He might go to ult. It's a really interesting Hive timing. Some players will make Infestors first and then go into Hive, just using all their resources on those Infestors. He's making more mutas. How bizarre is that? Okay. Okay, and 3 Infestors. How strange. So his gas is kind of everywhere right now. Now, if we remember, he's not upgrading his mutas. So it's a little bit strange that he's continuing to muta production, especially considering he's been losing a lot of them. So he's kind of going in a few different directions. Now, he's getting the Hive for 3-3, probably, but on 2 bases it's tough, and he's had so much trouble getting a third up. Finally, even this third up. But at this point, he's starting to want 4 bases, right? Because his opponent has been on 3 bases for a while. Naniwa hasn't lost many units in this game. Naniwa's maxed. Look at the units lost. That's actually pretty crazy. So Naniwa is pretty far ahead, and I'm wondering what's going to be the saving grace here for Icy. He needs Infestors. He's getting those guys out, but Naniwa is just continuing to attack all these locations, and he's abandoning another base. This is so interesting. So he's keeping the gas guys there as long as possible, because he realizes that's what he wants. He wants the gas. Now, once the Hive finishes, we'll have to see if he makes Ultra's Cavern. But again, his resources aren't phenomenal. He's going to try to rely on counterattacks. I like that decision. But Naniwa playing this very methodically, getting Storm. We're seeing a Greater Spire. Now that is very strange. This opponent has a ridiculous amount of Blink Stalkers. Looking to the natural, we see a flank attempted. The Zergling saying, never mind, I'm out of here. Wow, this is a really interesting game. Naniwa taking a 4th. Now, Tempests are going to be the obvious answer, right, to the Broodlords, or just Blink Stalkers. At this point, Naniwa's economy is so ridiculous, he can just try to keep sacrificing Blink Stalkers. Continue to check on these bases. I think the drones retreated again. Uh-oh. These drones, they didn't get the memo. Drones, turn around. All right, they turned around. So Naniwa knows his opponent is on 2 bases. Still making Infestors, and he has 3-3 on the way. So, oh, he's just gonna blink in the main. Okay, can Icy deal with this? The Ling's being sent into the main base, targeting down the Evo chambers. Great pick off there by Naniwa. No 3-3 gonna happen here. Spotting the Greater Spire too. A little bit of a misblink. Gonna recall out. Love that move from Naniwa. Counterattack attempted, not happening. So, our Zerg is on 2 bases, but he has Broodlord Infestor. We see the Stargate underway. So, Stargate, Fleet Beacon will probably come next. Tempest play is, I think, the obvious choice here. Working on +1. Might even just go straight up Void Race, but he's not getting a second Stargate, so it's a little strange. Any fungals? No fungals happening there. 4th base is fine for Naniwa. Again, the Zerg is on 2. So, okay, 3 additional Stargates. This is just going to mass air. So, what's going to happen here is, what needs to happen, because Icy's on 2 bases, his economy sucks, he has to be stupidly cost efficient if he wants to win this game. And if there's a composition where you can make that happen with, it's Broodlord Infestor. However, That was true in Wings of Liberty. In Heart of the Storm, there's a unit called a Tempest. Wow, nice pick off. It's great little Ling run by here. Though he only killed a sentry. Naniwa still finding these thirds, still killing him. So, in Heart of the Storm, back to my point, there's a unit called the Tempest. Tempest absolutely destroy Broodlords. It just happens. Oh, the Stalker's blinking in here, taking down 2 Infestors, taking down 3, 4. Oh my god. Perfect move there from Naniwa. Great trade. Every unit, every single unit is so important from Icy, but I don't know how this is going to happen, because even if he moves out, his opponent can just counterattack, right? And recall to defend. But we have 4 Tempests underway, and this might be... We might be nearing the end here, because once those Tempests get out, I don't see what Icy can do. Again, Zithian isn't his name, it's Icy. His name is Icy. Zithian is an admin account provided by DreamHack. Alright, let's see what happens here. Tempests are here, we got Storm. This is like the perfect composition for Naniwa. Icy gonna try to make something happen. Pulling the meters forward. Making the march, trying to do some damage, but backing up immediately. Look at that, a hallucinated Phoenix. Fancy move there from Naniwa. Another Tempest coming in from the right. 3rd base and 4th base being added on here. Gosh, look at how fast we look at that. Look at that. Look at that, that's disgusting. That's 3 shots. Bungling the Tempest here. He's going to target down the Broodlords, and now Naniwa going to try to engage. Blinking forward with the Stalkers. Lots of Lings coming forward. We got Fungals going down as well, but too much Protoss. Way too much Protoss. Naniwa commanding control of this game, taking out the remaining Infestors, and it's a situation where that trade needed to be a lot better for Icy. Units lost tells all the story here. 17,000 to 7,000. Naniwa on 4 bases. His opponent trying to get a 3rd up, trying to get a 4th up. Not going to happen. There's the well played. GG. Naniwa takes it. So Naniwa gets the 2-0. And I just want to go back and look at something really quick, because I